Hi, Tom.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
We are here with Tom Atencio, the creator of Affliction Clothing and now Affliction MMA.
Correct.
So, how did you get started with the clothing line?
My partners and I, well actually Todd and Eric, my partners, they started Affliction, and they brought on Cliff and Courtney and then myself on board, and I think it was just a great team that came together, and it all worked out perfectly. So it was, I think all the stars aligned and everything was just in the right place, right time.
Perfect. Now, I understand that you started with 6 employees, and now you're up to how many?
I would say over 130 right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good.
Business is great.
Yeah, really good.
So, now, how's the clothing brand doing? Has the recession hit you guys at all, or?
We're still doing really well. We're growing. It definitely has slowed down, but we have a great following, a great base, and the people are very loyal, and we're real happy about that. I mean, I can't thank our fans and the people that follow our brand. I can't thank them enough, because we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for them. So.
Now, rumor has it the reason you got into MMA was, it's just what I've heard, was because the UFC wouldn't allow your shirts on the fighters, or is that kind of one of those things that...
Yeah, it's part of it. We were banned by the UFC, and none of the fighters were allowed to wear the product into the ring anymore, and because of that, we decided to start our own organization, but it wasn't necessarily because of that. It was because we wanted to support the fighters that supported us, and they helped us get to where we were. So, it was a situation where it was, we never really planned on doing it, it just kind of happened. It just kind of happened that way, so it was good.
Very good. Yeah, well, it's amazing. I mean, the caliber of fighters that you have brought on, how did you go about getting these guys?
It really wasn't that difficult. I have a lot of good relationships with a lot of good fighters, and it was just a situation where we sponsored a lot of them. Josh Barnett, I was sponsoring Fedor, spoke with Fedor, met him, and started sponsoring him, and then we started talking about having him come and fight for our organization. So it was just, it just worked out really well. I mean, it wasn't as difficult as a lot of people think, but getting to this point was difficult. You know, with the third fight now coming up, it was just, it's a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. So when I say difficult, that's what I mean, just a lot of work.
Now with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Productions, how did you guys come about?
We met, and it was more of a, we talked to them about doing product for them. We actually partnered up with them with the Ring Magazine t-shirts, which we manufactured for them. And it just, it worked out where with the fight promotion, we needed their help. We spoke with them about that, and they were interested in doing MMA anyway. So they just partnered up with us, and it's been good. I mean, they have a lot of knowledge, they have a lot of background history, and it's one of the greatest organizations in boxing. So it was, once again, just right place, right time almost. It's been working out really good.
Now, on a personal note, I'm a big fan of boxing and MMA. Have been for a really long time. We'll have to speak up.
Oh, no worries.
The last Affliction fight, you guys had a boxing match across town at the same time. Is there ever going to be a possibility of combining the two in one night and having maybe, an MMA match and then a boxing match? I understand that boxing matches go way long, possibly. But if lined up right, you could probably, 3 to 5 rounds. But is it?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, we planned on doing that in the beginning. There are organizations that do it, smaller organizations. But I think right now there's still that disconnect between the two. And I think there's still hardcore boxing fans and still hardcore MMA fans. And it's very, very few that like both together. And that is one of the difficulties is the 12 rounds versus either 3-minute rounds or 3 5-minute rounds. Right. You have 12 3-minute rounds or 10 3-minute rounds.
Right.
So I think that's the difficulty, especially when it comes to television, because it's hard to time it. If it's a boxing fight and it goes 3 rounds or it's a first round knockout, then you can put the MMA, but then you might fall short. If it's a 12-round fight boxing, then you might run long and you might not be able to get all the MMA fights in or whatever, however it works. So there's a lot of difficulties that are still involved.
How about not running them at the same time so that I can watch both?
See, there's always an option. Yeah, something. Yeah, if you want that, then we'll go ahead and try to make that happen.
Perfect. So I don't ask for much. Yeah. Just so, how do you see Affliction's future in the MMA? Is it pretty secure? You think that you think there'll ever be one big league like boxing used to be, all these branches, and then?
No, I don't think. I mean, there's already so many different leagues, but with us, we work with everybody, so it's good. And we try to build bridges and not burn them, and we try to work with each organization out there, at least the organizations that are willing to work with us as well. You know, we work with Scott Coker of Strikeforce, we work with Monty Cox and Adrenaline, we work with M1 Global, who's our partner, we work with, obviously, Golden Boy Promotions. So for us, it's just building bridges and building relationships and trying to move forward. HDNet is a great partner of ours. Now we're working Showtime pay-per-view. So yeah, I mean, we're definitely trying to advance the sport more so than try to just hold it for us.
So what possessed you to get back in the ring?
You know, I've wanted to since the first time I fought over 4 years ago, I think it was. And, you know, it's just, it's either now or never. Right. So I have faith in my trainers, and as long as I do everything that they ask, I think I'll go out there and win. Do
you have any specialties that, you know,
no,
anything?
I'd like to think I'm a well-rounded fighter. I think, you know, you need to know everything. You need to know ground, you need to know stand-up, Western boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. So it's just a matter of combining them all and making yourself strong maybe in one aspect, but, you know, fighting your fight.
Now, have you fought, is it Randy Hedrick?
No, that's who I'm fighting June 27th in Biloxi, Mississippi. And this is his pro debut. It's my second pro fight, but I know he has a lot of amateur fights. I don't know about a lot, maybe like 3, something like that. But he's a tough kid. I've seen video. He's a tough kid for sure.
How young is he?
I don't know. I think he's like 20. I think 24, 27. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna have to teach him.
Go kick his ass.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna go in there like that, but no. I'm confident I'm gonna win. Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Let's talk about Scott Smith.
Oh no, Scott.
I watch his fights just to see what he's going to say next.
He loves to mess with me. I'm actually glad he lost this fight because he said he had another one, and he was actually going to call me up into the ring and give me a hard time. But now Scott and I have this little thing going on. He just loves to mess with me. Everybody loves to mess with me. I mean, I'll be with Fedor. We'll be taking pictures together. He'll slap the back of my head while we're taking photos. You know, Tim Sylvia will come run up and knee me right in the thigh. So I don't know. People just love to mess with me. I've always been I was always the youngest in my family, so I've always been a smart ass, and I think people just like to mess with me.
And they know that it rolls off you. You're not going to take it to heart. So.
Yeah, exactly. So Scott, so far, he said I had a belly button ring infection. He said I got married in Canada to my life partner, Lance. And then he was going to, I was his personal masseuse. That was the last fight with him and Benji Radek. And then the last one, he was going to say that I got a tattoo on my back of my boyfriend's name or something. I don't know what he was going to do, but yeah. And he knew I wouldn't lift my shirt up to prove him wrong, so he figured he was going to throw, yeah, exactly. That was the last one.
So are you going to reciprocate that on your next fight?
You know, I've been thinking about it, but unfortunately I think, the truth of the matter is Scott got a tattoo of his trainer's name, Gunyao, on his shin. And what I was going to say was he professed his love to Gunyao by getting a tattoo on his shin.
It's forever.
So it's there forever. And if you speak Thai, or if you know anybody that does, you can read it. It says Gunyao's name on there. So, I say he professed his love to Gunyao finally came out of the closet.
Finally, after he tries to turn it around on you.
He's just projecting is what he's been doing. Yeah,
exactly. Denial. Oh, that's great.
I can't believe she brought up Scott Smith.
Of course it would.
Killing me.
Okay, I think that we're good though. think you're good. Is there anything else you want to throw out there? Anything?
The Scott Smith is the last one. That's it.
That's it.
It's over.
I lost another one. I'm sorry.